In this video, we're going to go through setting up a print item or book or any other type of media. And as you know, being a media item, it's considered an accessory in the selling world. So we have two different types of inventories, a serialized inventory and accessory. Before we start on that, just to cover, there's another video called Inventory Attributes that you may want to watch before this. And just to cover briefly, if we go under maintenance and then inventory maintenance and our maintain subcategories, if I come under like band and flute and I go under tab 2 for attributes, you'll see that we have these different attributes, color, finish, size, etc. that are checkmarked, but things that don't apply to a flute, like composer, artist, etc. are not checked. But if I scroll down to a print subcategory, you see the opposite is true. But there is a video on setting up attributes that you want to watch for that. So let's go through adding a print item or book or CD or any type of other media that you may be using. So if I go under modules, inventory, add change, and add inventory, first thing it's going to ask for is the type. And as I was saying, there's two types of inventory. There's accessories, which is a product number and a quantity of that product. And then there's serialized, which is a product number and then individual serial numbers under that product number, or SKUs in this case. So we're going to choose accessory here. And then we're going to go to the next field, which is category. So I'm going to choose my print guitar category. Then I'm going to jump to subcategory and make an option there, and I hit the space bar there, and I'm just going to choose other fretted. And whoever my publisher is, this is where it goes in this. It says manufacturer here. This is manufacturer or publisher, since a manufacturer would not create the book. So I'm going to choose Hal Leonard and tab to the next field here. And we are at model, and this is where you would put in the product number, or if it's print music, you'd put the catalog number here, or if it's a book and there is no actual model or catalog number, you could use the ISBN as an example to track it if as a last resort. But I'm going to go ahead and key in this product here and tab, and it takes us to ISS number. This is just a automatic generated number that you could use if there is no number. So again, if it's a book, it doesn't have a number, you can just hit that button and it generates for you. So now we're at description, and it defaults to our subcategory description. This is where I can key in the actual description of the book here. Unit, if this is a box of books, you would say like box or a case or whatever it may be. So we'll just leave that blank since that really doesn't apply. If it has a weight to it that you want to add here, for if you're pushing up to the website, you can say it weighs 1 pound or whatever for shipping capabilities, etc. Selection code is another user-defined code in AIM-SI. So in our examples here, we have selection code A, selection code B, but you can define them to whatever description that you want. Shipping charge, if there's an automatically charge that you want to attach when you sell this item, you would put that amount in there. If you depreciate this item, you can mark it as a lease pool, and then if you did that, then you'd have to put in your tax and book depreciation. QR type and code, those are if you use the QR codes on products, if it does have one. Next we have notes. So we have different types of notes here. We have a POS reminder. So the POS reminder would be if when you sell this item, this note is going to pop up and remind you to take some action or whatever you have in there. Invoice notes, and that's what's going to print if you sell this item. And then if you want a coupon generated when you sell this item, that's what invoice coupon does. Otherwise, just regular notes field is just regular notes that you want to type on this item here. So tabbing through, if it requires a serial number, you can make accessories require a specific serial number. That's optional. Scalable is if it's something that you use a weight to sell, so you use a scale. So you put it on and it's weighted, and it would calculate the price based on the weight and the cost of the item. Loyalty exempt is if you do not want customers to get loyalty points if they purchase this item. Audio, you can put audio sample files and images here. Tabbing through. Table of contents, of course, if it has that associated with it. And then any add-ons right here, where you see where it says SKU. So if I sell this item and I wanted to add on another SKU or a subcategory or any type of sale, when this is sold, it's going to pull up and say, hey, do you want to add this item with it? So if it's print music, maybe you want to have an add-on item of a music stand. Do you want to add this item? It's only X amount of dollars. And that can be an optional, automatically checked or not checked for the employee, as we see there as we tab through. And then we get to actually creating the SKU at locations. So if you have multiple locations, it defaults to all locations, because typically what you sell in one, you're going to sell in the other. Or if there's products that you don't sell at certain locations, you can choose specifically what location that you're selling, going to be selling this at. The SKU number is going to be the same as that model for accessories. So it's going to be their catalog number in this case, because it is a print music item. And then it's going to ask for primary vendor. I'm getting this from Hal Leonard. And the vendor item number, that's going to be is if this vendor doesn't call it by its catalog number, which is listed in the SKU box there. Maybe they have their own cataloging system, and they have whatever. If I type this number here, when you go to order that catalog, if it has a different vendor item number on the purchase order, it's going to use that vendor item number. Again, that's what the vendor knows this product as, where you and customers know it as that exact catalog number that you keyed in. So if they have a different number, you can key that in for your vendor. Manufacturer part number would not apply to title, so we're going to skip that. Whatever the cost may be, we're going to say $2.95. Freight is just how much the freight is if you order this. And then if you have anything in there, freight plus cost or cost plus freight is equal to the weighted cost. So $2.95 plus 0 is still $2.95. And the reason we have that weighted cost is most stores like to do commissions based off the higher cost if there's a freight amount. Retail, we're going to put that in at $8.95, and then whatever the store selling price is. Minimum is your minimum allowable selling price. So if you don't want employees to discount it below that, you would put that in there. And then there is a permission override that you can set. And then price A, B, and C would be different pricing if customers get that allowable price A, B, or C, which would be a discounted typically from the R price. Active E price is for what you want to send up to the web as the sale price typically. SPIF is if you give a special incentive to get this item sold and pay the employees a commission. And then we have proceed. So we're going to go on to the next screen. And this is where we're going to actually have the catalog number for each location that was created for. And now you see that we have attributes. So there's our SKU. Again, our part number, since this is a catalog, that does not apply. And I'm just tabbing through these fields. Discontinued is if this is a discontinued item. Typically, that wouldn't apply when you're adding it. And if it is, you would have replacement items, etc. The reason we have that is you may have some discontinued products still in your inventory. So when you're adding it in for the first time, you would have that availability to mark it discontinued at that time. So when we get to barcodes, we're going to key in the actual barcode of the item. So in this case, this is my barcode. I don't have a scanner attached here, otherwise I would simply just scan it. And then also, I'm going to put the ISBN number in here because this is a place, it's just another way of looking up that item. So if you scan the ISBN or the barcode or enter the catalog number, this item is going to pull up in AMOSI. So again, this field, this box barcodes, is where your UPC goes and your ISBN number. Next, lastly, I guess, we have attributes. So this is what I was talking about based on the subcategory. Since this is a print music item, I have different attributes that apply that don't apply to actual regular instruments. So I have artist, composer, arranger, voicing, level, etc. So if any of these apply, you can fill those in accordingly. So maybe this is a level 1, however many pages it has. Maybe it has 10 pages. And again, like I said, you fill those in. I'm just going to fill in test composer here, just to give you an idea. So now when I hit save here, that creates that SKU for the location. And then I hit my big save button, and that item is added into inventory. And then just to double check, we'll just go back to our home screen here, and modules, inventory, and we're just going to do display inventory. And I'm going to pick that particular category, subcategory. I believe it was print guitar. And I'm in the wrong field here. Other fronted. We'll clear out that selection code. I'll hit search. And there's it's the only one in my inventory under that category and subcategory. Pulls it in. I can click on details. Of course, I have none in stock because I didn't receive them. I just created the item. So to receive from here, you would just simply go into regular receive inventory. That's under add change inventory and receive inventory. And so, as I was saying, you can put in whatever item number here. You can put the catalog, UPC, or ISBN. So I have the ISBN number saved to my clipboard. So if I just scan that number and hit enter, you see it changes the SKU to the actual catalog number. And at this point, we can key in however many we are receiving. And again, this is all our defaults. If our receive cost is different, I can change that here. If I'm getting it from a different vendor, etc., I can put in my PO number, where it's coming from, etc. Typically, using the purchase order system is where you would receive, but just giving the idea of just getting started with the system and entering your quantities in. And that, in a nutshell, is just adding print or books or media type of inventory into AMOSI.